Flamerule 11, 1488 DR. Well, after a drafty night's rest at the Luskin Arms Inn, Zix and I got up and, together with Charles and my dear Axbeak Squawkmore, took the 20 minutes walk back into town to look for a fish and tackle shop, since I'd promised to help Zix learn to fish. It sounded like you really wanted to impress those fisher dwarves. I have enough food and money on me to get by for a little while, and while I don't have another job lined up, I figured why not? While we did never find the tackle shop, Zix informed us that Grim, the dwarf that challenged him to this whole thing in the bar, had a boat and some fishing supplies for us on the shore of Mare Dwaldon, the icy lake. I don't know the whole story, but apparently it belonged to his deceased brother or something. We did, however, come across Triglio, the local general store. We were met with a sign upon entry making it very clear that they did not sell fishing gear. While disappointed at first, we bought an assortment of other things there, with Justin, the tall, hunched-over guy behind the counter. The guy had something wrong with his left arm and hand. I'm sure there's a story behind that, but anyway, we picked up some food stuff, some cold weather gear, and some cereal with Squawkmore's name on it. He also sold Zix on this cheap blue liquid in a bottle. I don't think that there was anything magical about it, except that it was an unusually blue color. Charles also gave Zix a taste of his honey mead. It looked pretty good. The weather was pretty clear today, so a lot of the people were out and about during the day, in Targos. I parked Squawkmore around the side of the Six Flags Sailing Tavern again, and walked out with the group, met by Marvolor, to go fishing. Grim also met us out by the rowboats, and showed us to one that looked like it had been through some kind of scuffle. The damage was noticeable, and, as pointed out by the others, it looked like it had been bitten into by something out there. My guess is that it was an orca or something. Everyone else but Grim claims that there's some kind of monster in the lake. I think they're all buying into the myth, and that a story like that'll bring all kinds of new people around to see if it's true, but I'm pretty sure there isn't one. Aliens though? Now those exist, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, Marvolor was adamant that he was not going to get on the boat because he claims to have seen the monster himself out on the lake. Anyway, this boat was indeed loaded up with tackle boxes and fishing poles, so we were set to go. Charles, Zix, and I all pushed our less than optimal sailing vessel out into an icy canal and sailed it through, scratching it up a bit in the process, and Marvolor set about cutting a hole in the icy shore to fish. I lit up a rock and set it in the boat, and had my snowy owl familiar Seymour come fly over the water and indicate where he could see the shadows moving beneath the surface, in search of our Knucklehead Trout. The challenge was to catch 3 of them and bring them to Grim. I set to helping Zix with his line, and we tried all kinds of things to lure the fish. Charles used some of his bees as a lure, we used some ration meat, we used some prestidigitation to flavor and scent the lures, some of which smelt like chum, which was a terrible choice, and Marvolor called some advice out to us from the shore as well. We fished and fished for 2 hours with no luck. Even when the trout bit, they were terribly strong and broke the string. One almost pulled Charles over the edge. During the 3rd hour, one of them pulled me overboard into the icy water. Marvolor seemed to disappear from the shore by the time I was able to climb back on board. It was a good thing I brought a spare set of cold weather gear, I thought. Apparently, Zix has a gift from Queen Raven of Waterdeep that shakes the water out of your clothes. It was some kind of raven-shaped trinket. How handy. Then I looked out at the shore to see Marvolor pointing out my own bait and tackle to a roaring crowd of dwarves. Thanks, Marvolor. But we did manage to catch a couple of those knuckleheads in that hour with a new strategy, slowing their escape with my Ray of Frost and blasting the shit out of them with whatever that weird abomination of force it is that Zix knows. He's a weird character, and I'll have a lot of questions about whatever that was later, because I don't think I could replicate what he did if I tried. At the start of our 4th hour on the lake, we did manage to catch 1 more trout, and we called it a day right then. The little light available was going to set soon enough. We brought Grim his catch, and he granted us his dead brother's boat, promising some of his dwarven draft later that night in the tavern. As we went back inside, we were met with one of the elven women from last night. She introduced herself as Tali, and that she was researching unusual life across Icewind Dale, and told us of a couple of people she interviewed in Bremen who swore they saw the lake monster, and were attacked. I still find it a little hard to believe, but she asked if we make our way over to Bremen and find any such evidence for or against the existence of this lake monster, she'd be very interested to know, and that she could be found in Tourmaline. She'd give us 20 gold and a spell scroll of Moonbeam. I'm not too familiar with this kind of magic myself, but I am just a hedge wizard after all. A lot of magics are still new to me. And that's been all today. Right now I'm at the bar waiting for my Galilee plate. It looks like Marvolor's pulled Tali aside for a chat. I have some questions for Stacy, Ma, and some of the dwarves around here regarding the murder of Vark and Targos. Someone may have seen who Vark spent any time with here in the days before the discovery of his body. I don't know that I'll be able to crack the case myself, but maybe I can help with the effort. I'll write more soon. Perrin.